All right, guys, let's go kind of rapid fire here. What is one of your top tips for improving client follow through? I'll go first. For me, a big problem that I find a lot of trainers, especially early on, they start with exercises in the homework that has no effect on the client's quality of life. So sometimes I might do things a little bit out of my normal order because I really want that client to feel really feel the impact of the exercises that they're working on. And I want them to see that if they do the things that I ask them to, it's going to improve their quality of life. And once they've had that experience, they're kind of eating out of the palm of my hand, and I can slow things down or do things that might be a little bit more indirect. So that's probably my number one focus for making sure I get good client follow through. How about you, Brent?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say over the years, I've kind of had to work on developing boundaries and expectations with my clients. And it's kind of this weird paradigm, right? Because you're taking money from them. So it's really easy for them to feel like you work for them. But part of being a coach and a teacher is you have to kind of have a certain level of authority and leadership with them. For example, like if a client comes in and it's pretty obvious they haven't done the homework, I kind of give them two options. Option number one is I tell them, hey, you can go home and I'll let it slide this time, and you can go practice the homework that we've developed before. And option number two, let's assume you forgot the homework or don't fully understand the homework. I can charge you for today's lesson and we can go over exactly everything that we went over last session. Up to you. And 90% of the time people pick option A. They go home, they practice their homework. But when I do stuff like that and I set those boundaries and expectations with my clients, it helps put me as an authority figure in the relationship. Like just kind of like how teachers would hold us accountable or our coaches would hold us accountable. If you don't do that, if you kind of just let those little things slide, if you don't set very clear expectations for your clients, sometimes their habits will kind of control the session. And unless you say something about it or stand up for the process of dog training, it's really easy for things to get out of control. So that's over the years, that's kind of how I've learned to help clients improve their follow through.
Yeah, it's funny because what you guys were saying, it sort of boils down to two different things in my mind. Of people either don't do enough homework or they do too much of the homework that you didn't prescribe. And one way that I like to try to hold people accountable, not only in the session, but then throughout the week as well, is to get methodical, not rigid, but methodical about how you manage the tempo of the workflow. Sometimes people want to move too fast within a lesson and have all these questions that aren't related yet. Or sometimes people are like, yeah, I did these reps twice, and then I went to Kierland and the dog was totally distracted at this outdoor mall. And so I think it's important to not let people rush, not let them cut corners, make sure that they understand why. That's one way that I find they think in their mind, this is so much better because I'm moving faster, until they realize moving faster is also sucks and it's difficult, and then naturally they end up falling off as a direct result. So slowing them down makes them enjoy the process. It's longer, but it's better.